Welcome, sweet friends, to the channel Frugal Money Saver. My name is Emmy. My husband's Paul. We're so happy you have joined us today. Today's video, we are going to be getting personal with you. We're actually going to be telling you why Paul has chosen to take his Social Security at the age of 62, which some people say is too early. But we're going to talk about why we thought this was the best decision for us. We're also going to get into the kitchen and we are going to make a scrumptious one-pot meal in the crock pot using things from the freezer, refrigerator, and pantry. Super delicious and so easy. We hope you are staying warm. These temperatures have been frigid here in the Northeast and down in the South. Well, some of you have seen snow for the very first time. We pray you are all safe and well and staying warm. We're going to start with giving you a bunch of clarifications, reasons, explanations, whatever you want to call them, why we decided to take Paul's Social Security at 62. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying we are not financial advisors. We are not telling you to take your Social Security at 62. We are only giving you our journey. So please don't turn around and say, oh my goodness, you told me to do this. No, we didn't. Okay, we're just sharing our journey with you. For those of you who are new here, let's give you a little bit of background about us. Paul retired at the age of 55 after working, how many years?
34 years.
34 years for a local state municipality. So at the age of 55, he was able to collect his New York State pension, which was 3/4 of his pay. So that was a blessing. So that was back in 2018. For these last 7 years, basically Paul's pension is what we have been living on, along with some add-ons, which I will explain in a minute to you. But that was our primary source of income. We are debt-free. We are mortgage-free. We own our home. We have no outstanding debts on anything. That's something we needed to consider as well. To add to Paul's pension, we do have a Roth IRA. We do have stocks. We have certificates of deposit that generate income that we just roll back into the CD savings. So that just keeps gaining interest and growing. We also have our YouTube income. So not only do we have Paul's pension, but we have these other sources of income as well. We do live frugally and we do live below our means, meaning we never spend more than we take in every month. And we live quite comfortably, thank God. We really do. So we're going along living life. Paul, back in October, says, I'd really like to apply for my Social Security at 62. So at first I was like, yeah, is that financially sound? Everybody says to wait. You know the story. So we really put pen to paper and we made pros and we made cons. The pros totally outweighed the cons. So let me share those with you. And the deciding factors for us to take Paul's Social Security at 62. We take the money now. We invest some of it. We have a Roth IRA. We can take up to $8,000 of that Social Security income that comes in throughout the year and put it towards Paul's Roth IRA. We are allowed to put up to $8,000 into that Roth IRA a year because Paul's over 50 and we make less than $250,000. So we can invest some of that money. And then, of course, we can put it into CDs, whatever we want to do with it. Another reason, we want to be able to enjoy this money while we are still relatively young. There's a difference physically, mentally, emotionally, everything between the ages of 60 and 70. So in another 5 years, we hope that we're vibrant and running around and still doing all we're doing. But we'd rather take it now to be able to enjoy it and spend time with family, enjoy experiences with it as well. We don't know what tomorrow brings. We don't know the stability of Social Security. We don't know our health. We don't know a lot of variables. We live in the moment. So taking it now for us was a very reasonable choice. It just made sense. You don't know about tomorrow. So let's take it now while we can. We also took into consideration, as I stated earlier, this is not our only source of income. We don't need this Social Security to pay our bills. This will be the added bonus. This will be the extra. We don't need it to, let's say, pay our electric bill or anything like that. So for us, it was just taking it as an add-on, as an extra income coming in. So as you can see for us, it was coming down to a lot of pros, a lot of reasons why we should take it. But the real question that everyone asks is, what is the financial difference? What amount of money are you going to be losing out in the long run? So that is what I set out to do, to take the numbers and crunch them and figure this out. Paul got a Social Security statement, and it showed how much he would make starting at the age of 62 up to the age of 70. Now, his full retirement age would have been 67. So that's the number I used if we had waited. Now, you have to remember, the difference between 62 and 67 is 5 years. So for 60 months, we are collecting Social Security before the age of 67. That is a nice chunk of change. And when you are figuring out the long term of how much difference it's going to be, you have to remember those first 5 years, you are getting that income on a monthly basis for 60 months. So we knew that. I figured how much we would make at the age of 62 monthly and how much we would make at the age of 67 monthly. So at 62, I took that monthly income, I times it by 12, and I got my yearly Social Security income for the age of 62. Now I took that and I times it by 5, and I came up with a substantial amount of money, as you can imagine. Then I took the amount he would make on Social Security if he took it at the age of 67, times that by 12, and then I came up with our yearly amount. Okay, so we know what we're making yearly at the age of 62 if we collect, and we know what we're making yearly at the age of 67 if we collect. Now what we need to do is look and say, God forbid, Paul stops getting Social Security, hypothetically, God forbid, at the age of 80. What is the difference between the age of 62 financially to 80 and 67 to 80? What will be the amount in dollars in difference once Paul is 80 years old? Are you ready for this? The difference is, at the age of 80, if we would have taken it at 67 instead of 62, is $698 a year, or $58 a month. That's it. As Paul gets older, of course it will increase. God willing, he lives beyond, but let's say at age of 85 now. What is the difference monthly? The monthly has increased, but only to $250 a month. Now think of that. I don't know about you, but in 23 years, I cannot imagine $250 will buy you a heck of a lot more. So for us, once we crunched these numbers and we saw how minimally different it was. I pray he lives to 100, but you can see it is not a crazy amount of money difference for us. Again, this is our journey. For us, it really was a no-brainer, and we are taking it at 62. Now, I'm going to just let Paul jump on here for 1 minute, because there was something that when we were doing the pro and con list that Paul was emphatic about. He was like, this is the reason I want to take it at 62. But me being logical and having to make the pro and con list and figuring all the math out, but I want him to jump on just for a minute to share with you what it was.
Hey everybody, I'm Paul. I just wanted to jump in real quick and just let you know, I've been paying into Social Security for over 42 years. And you know what? The government's been holding on to it. They've been using it for whatever. It's my turn now to enjoy it. So I decided to take it at 62, where I can either invest it, I could use it any way I want to just add to our quality of life. So when it comes time for you to make a decision about Social Security, crunch the numbers yourself, look at your finances, make sure you know every in and out, and come up with your own plan. But this plan works for me. Paul approved.
Now, for me, I am several years away from being able to collect. I continue to work here at YouTube with you all, which I love. So that is a blessing. This does not affect our YouTube channel at all. We'll continue to do our videos as we always have. We hope that just gives you some clarification why we picked taking Paul's Social Security at 62. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Again, we are not financial planners and we are not telling you to do anything. We are just sharing our journey. Now, it has been so cold throughout our country this past couple of days and weeks that we knew we needed to get into the kitchen and make some comfort goodness. But we want to keep it frugal. We want to use what we already have in the home. So we put together a little recipe and we think it was over the top. Our son was here. I think he had 3 bowls of this. It is hearty, delicious, and well, let's show you how we make it. Let's turn this camera around and get into the kitchen. We are making a 1-pot crock pot meal using things we have from our freezer, refrigerator, and pantry. This is so easy, and I'm hoping it will be delicious. Our son is here tonight. It's Tuesday. We do dinner and a movie. I know he loves ravioli. I had 2 packs in the freezer. So let's see what we're going to do. I've got about 8 ounces or a cup of shredded mozzarella cheese. We've got 6 ounces of cream cheese. This is 3 cups of chicken stock. I have about 1.5 cups of frozen spinach, 2 packs, and they are 12 ounces each of cheese ravioli. 1 package is square, 1 is round. We're gonna mix and match. How bad can it be? 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes, and we're going to put the whole can in with the juice. I'm using the no salt added, but you don't have to do that. And then I've got about a tablespoon of Italian seasoning. We are literally going to mix this all together in the crock pot and see how it comes out. I put the 2 packages of frozen ravioli on the bottom of the crock pot. I just poured our can of the diced tomatoes, adding our spinach, the 3 cups of chicken stock. I even have pieces of chicken. Now you know it's homemade. The 2 kinds of cheeses. And my Italian seasoning. And we're just going to give this a really good mix. The cream cheese will break down and everything is going to meld together. I'm going to come back in a little while, definitely, and give it another mix. But for now, that's all we need to do. Try to cover the ravioli with the liquid as much as possible. So we're just going to cover this. And now I'm going to set it for about 2.5 hours on low. But you're going to watch your crock pot because every crock pot is different. But I'm going to come back in about an hour and give everything a mix. How easy was this? Here we go. It's been about 3 hours. Oh, look at this. Now my crock pot tends to run hot. Oh, this looks so good. It smells fantastic. I just tried a piece of the ravioli and it is definitely cooked. All that cheese melted. We've got a creamy, delicious sauce now. Put a little over that. Oh, this is going to be full of flavor. Just some simple ingredients will let you know how this turns out, but I think this is going to be a winner. That crock pot meal was a 10 out of 10. Our son had 3 bowls. I think Paul had 2. I had 1.5. It was so delicious. Super easy, cooked in a couple of hours, literally. That was a win-win. Was it Paul approved?
It was definitely Paul approved.
It was really good. Today's question of the day. And we are asking that you keep the comments respectful. Social Security is such a personal decision. And we just want to make sure if you're not agreeing with us, you keep it polite, you keep it respectful, please. If you'd like to share down below, what age did you take Social Security if you have taken it already? And do you feel like that has worked out for you? If you want to share, that's wonderful. Or maybe you want to share your favorite one-pot meal with us down below, because we would love to know that as well. It not only encourages us when you leave us comments, but our viewers as well. And we thank you so much. Dixie is here having a ball. I got to get her on camera because so many of you have been asking to see her, and she's right next to me in her bed playing and making baby noises. So we're going to give her a little cameo in a minute. Can you hear her? We thank you for sharing this time with us. We ask that you please give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Come on in and be part of our frugal family. We ask you to be well. We ask you to be safe. And above all, we wish you blessings. Until our next video, may God greatly bless you.
I'm walking slowly, I'm taking my time. All I like good talking is starting to rhyme. Letting go of lonely, letting go of strife. I just can't get enough of this beautiful life. I just can't get enough of this beautiful